Hello. Hello.
They cannot hear you. Oh, okay. Are we ready? Okay, we're ready? Super. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the graduation for the second cohort of the Mayor's Neighborhood Leadership Training. This is super exciting. We're here in City Hall with some of the class members in person, and then we have others via Zoom. So super excited to also see them. I won't turn around because then I'll look like that person on TV that's always looking for their picture. So thank you for being here. Welcome. And today basically brings in culmination of what you've learned, everything that you've been able to get information from our wonderful presenters, and we're hoping that you're going to use this newfound information and new skills right there in your neighborhoods, in your blocks, in your community. So let's get the celebration started. I'm going to invite to the podium John McMahon, the Southwest NSC Assistant Administrator, for the next part. John?
Thank you, Daisy. So congratulations, everybody. 8 weeks. I think it went by really, really quick. First couple, maybe you're wondering, but then you get through to the 8th week and you're, wow, I can't believe it's over already. So, but congratulations. I think almost everybody made it through. So that's really cool. I just wanted to kind of look back at what happened 8 weeks ago, and we started off the session asking, what a couple questions just to kind of get the imagination flowing. We said, identify the top things that you would like to get out of this program. So we're going to do a little bit of reflection in a couple of minutes. So we're going to say, okay, answer that question. Now's the time, maybe not right now, but did it meet your expectations of what you wanted to get out of the program? What were the things that you wrote down 8 weeks ago? Did we get there? And this whole process, we're looking at how we can do things better and so we're going to be looking to these reflections, and we're going to go deep into each one to see what we did right, what we did wrong. So it's a growing process. Another question we asked 8 weeks ago is, what do you love about your neighborhood? And we had you draw a picture of it. A lot of people do really cool pictures, and we're gonna reflect on that. Is that something that's changed? Is it the same? Is it something you can make better? And what changes do you want to see in your neighborhood? The goal of this program is to help establish the skills to make those changes yourself, or be part of this grassroots effort to make the change to accomplish the goals that we set forth with. So over the last 8 weeks, we had just a kind of a little refresher. We had learning about City Hall way back on April 8th. Learning about the city's organization, all that stuff. And then in that same session, we had the zoning code, which is always a very, very popular session. That could probably be its own 8-week course right there with the zoning code, but they did a great job. City council process with former councilman member Dana Miller, who's always great. Then the next session we had a couple of fun games, it looked like, but then that was the Chris McDonald show, and the Batman, if everybody remembers him. He did conducting an effective meeting, succession planning, problem solving, conflict resolution. Hopefully those are things that we can go back and look through his documents and say, this is something that I can use in my community group. And then we went to neighborhood outreach and planning. We had a session on community gardening, how to do an event, community wealth building. And then we had the Shall Be came up with sustainability programs, and then we had a lot of stuff on housing development, how that whole thing works. And Daisy did her presentation on the nuisance point system. And then the last session, which was just last week, was focused on the youth. We had all the youth people there and everything like that. So, and from the very beginning of this program, the goal was, how do we bring the youth into this next level? How do we make a succession plan? So 20 years from now, the little kids that we are, trying to find safe places for them to play now, they're our community leaders, and they've had these skills they learn from people in these groups. And so that's what the goal was for the last session. So now what we're going to do is kind of try to do a little bit of reflection. And I know this is a very quiet, shy group, but if anybody here wants to give a reflection, just kind of chime in on Zoom or in person. The people in person, we're going to ask you to come up here and speak. If anybody on Zoom, just raise your hand or just start talking, and that's how we'll do that from now on. Questions on screen? Oh, all the questions, okay. So, to help you with your reflections, we're going to ask you if anybody, chime in, what could improve the class experience as we begin to prepare for the next session of the Mayor's Neighborhood Leadership Training Program. If anybody has any ideas of what we can do to make it better, chime in. Now's the time. Bring it over to Janet.
So I really like the program. One thing that I thought could improve the class experience is that in the community outreach part of it, a lot of the experts, and they are experts because they're very good at what they do, but we had community outreach people basically from the Southeast. We have 2 people from Beechwood Connected Communities and Joe, who's both outstanding. And then we had Highland Planning. But what I really think would help in community engagement would be to have representatives from, if you can, all 4 quadrants, or at least show what's happening in Joseph Avenue with the Black Box Theater, with the Art Center that really revitalized Joseph Avenue, or Clinton Avenue with the International Plaza. It just gets a little more diversity in that area. Thank you.
I'm glad I'm out of the mask. My name is Bob Thompson. I'm from Highland Park area. A couple of things that I had noted. The biggest benefit to this session for me was just putting faces
changes every day. The data that you can pull off that is just incredible. So Erica, we're just gonna. Okay, can you hear me? So the next question is, what was the one thing that surprised you during the mayor's neighborhood leadership training? Is there anything that jumped out as a surprise you weren't expecting? I think what I'll do is I'll go through these, and then you can, if anybody has any, statements they want to make, they can just, for any of the questions, we can do that. What is the strength in yourself or the community that emerged as a result of the training? Did participating in the training change your perspective in any neighborhood community issues? And what session helped you the most? Maybe we could start with the last one. If anybody has a favorite session that they felt they got the most out of, if you could point it out and say what it was. We're looking for someone on Zoom though, because everybody's being very shy on the Zoom. We don't know.
Okay, I can say something. My favorite was session 2. We can't really hear you that well, John, but session 2 was very good for me regarding the planning and how to succession planning and conducting an effective meeting and problem solving and conflict resolution. That was very good. All the sessions was very good, but that was one of my favorites. Housing in my neighborhood was very good with Miriam and Theo. That was very good. Like I said, all was good, but those 2 stick out for me the most. What surprised me was that we only had a 5 to 10 minute break in a 3-hour session. That kind of surprised me because I was trying to eat, and before you know it, I had to get back to Zoom. So that kind of surprised me, the length of the break for a 3-hour class. Other than that, everyone was great that you guys selected to do the sessions that we have. Putting a face with the name was also good because not everybody in the city of Rochester I do know, but I hear their name. So that was very good also. You guys did a great and wonderful job doing this. I'm glad to have been a part of this class, and I really appreciate you, John, and everybody else that has put their time and work into this class, preparing it for us. Okay.
Thank you very much. Anybody else?
I would like to say I appreciate the fact that you all presented the mayor's neighborhood leadership training program. I think it's great that she's coming up with a lot of different initiatives to get the community involved in the city and city hall. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to say that I was really surprised.
Go ahead, Jamari.
I don't know if you guys are able to hear me, but I was gonna say that I was surprised of how many people and how many people in the community and the city work was connected, and how many guests we had. And I just want to say that I have learned a lot from this program. I'm really excited that I was able to be a part of it.
I really enjoyed these weeks. I was committed, and I think that the best part of it is that everyone was committed. I really enjoyed the sessions on the housing, the youth, zoning, and the strategic planning. Actually, I enjoyed all of them, but those stuck out with me a little bit more. I think one of the best things that I got out of it is just the impetus to do more. I thought I was doing more, but I realized just from listening that there is so much more that we can do as a community. And I really believe that if everyone in Rochester took these training sessions, that we would truly be stronger together. I'm just amazed at what all was accomplished.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Erica was here talking. She gave a beautiful, eloquent speech, but I don't think anybody was able to hear it. So, but Lynette, there's more break that you were looking for. You just got it right there. So it was like a whole minute for you. Does anybody else have anything to say? Erica put something in the chat. Lynette, would you read that out loud for us, please?
Sure. It says flexion. Can everyone?
I don't know if it's us, but are you actually in the pool right now talking?
I'm not, but I can read it. I just heard someone else speaking. It says, what could it?
Say whatever they want to do.
Okay. You
In
still
the
want?
chat, maybe we can read
Yeah,
it.
someone in the chat. Okay. So it says, what could improve the class experience as we begin to prepare for the next session of the mayor's neighborhood leadership training? We did that. What was one thing that surprised you during the Mnlt? What is the strength in yourself or the community that emerged as a result of the training? Participating in the Mnlt change your perspective on any neighborhood or community. Okay, the screen went away. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. And some of the other things from the chat, and Jamari was surprised at how many people had taken a part of it and said that she was really glad to be a part of it. Our goal, and this has been touched on a couple of times, our goal is this is the second group that's gone through it. We would like to do this consistently twice a year until further notice, so it will grow. And so you are going to represent number 26 through 50 who've been through this program already. A year from now, there will be 100 people who've been through it. The goal is that, if we get hundreds and hundreds of people who have been through this and they all know how to accomplish things at City Hall, how to accomplish things in their neighborhood meetings, when you leave here, you're going to have exactly when all of your neighborhood meetings are. We were at a presentation today in the Bull's Head. One of the neighbors came up and said, I had no idea this was happening. We've been relying for the last, I think Bull's Head's been in planning for like 40 years. We've been relying on the community groups and the neighborhood service center and our interaction with the people to be aware of what's going on. And this gentleman had lived there, his whole life. He'd never joined a neighborhood group. He didn't know where it was, where it met, or anything like that. So part of this is, we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of people who've been through this program, who have the skills, who know the information about where the neighborhood meets, what they're talking about, what the plans are, what they're fighting against. Hopefully it's not in the city, but and they're going to know, though. They're all going to be very educated, and they're going to understand. They're going to know each other. And one of our goals here, like in the next year or so, is to have, once COVID, we're finally free of the restrictions, we're going to have a big picnic. We're going to have all the graduates that's ever been through it. It's going to be a networking thing. There's going to be some good food and some good times, and they can share the information. I think, if we do a little bit of this questions and answers and stuff like that, and what you got out of the program, and we share, the more people we get through it, the better we'll get. So, it's not perfect, it's far from it, but it will be. It'll get closer to it anyway. So We're talking, hundreds and hundreds of people going through these 8 weeks, getting better every time, growing as a group of people who've been through it, who can work with each other. And that, that comes in a lot of these comments is how many people have been through it and how much you actually learned. The last session, people were just, they were blown away because they didn't know anything about zoning. And that's a challenge. If you don't know anything at all about zoning, how are you going to put up your new deck, or how are you going to, know your neighbors shouldn't be doing that, or all these different things. So anyway, that's where we're going. Does anybody have any other reflections they want to share before we move on to the next session? Yeah, perfect. There you go.
Thank you, thank you. I just want to start off by saying thank you to everyone in the city that put this on. I think this was really great. I heard about this through the city social media, which I think is awesome. That's where I found it. And I want to thank all the rest of the participants too. I learned a lot from you guys, and I think that's one of the things that I would like to see more of is, Eric, I really loved your activities in the beginning, the first couple sessions. Like, they seem hokey, but they were actually pretty cool. Because it was great because we got to know each other. One of the things I just wish maybe next time is we could have switched up groups so that we've got to meet everyone else as well. But our group was pretty great, right? One of the other things I would say is my favorite session was really learning about the zoning and the building. I like you said, John, I had no clue any of that information at all. When I've been in neighborhood meetings, everyone says it's R1. I have no clue what R1 meant until now. And then just other things as well that I took for granted is how in our neighborhood association, the people that are running it just kind of know this information. And if they were not to be here tomorrow, I wouldn't know how to continue on. So I'm just really glad that we got to have that time, and I got to appreciate our neighborhood association a little bit more and the work that they're doing. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. You laughing at me? I just wanted to say the thing that stood out to me about this process was, I believe the first official session, one of the maps that we learned about showed development. And so I pulled that up and looked at our area, Northwest, and barely saw anything there. All the development was either downtown or on the east side. And then that was when the light bulb went off that there was a lack of leadership and advocacy for our area, for developments like that, more money to come into our neighborhood. So I didn't realize it. Well, I guess I realized it at the time that I'm going to have to be one of those people that advocates. And this was step one.
I thought I learned just a ton, and it was almost overwhelming how much I didn't know, to say the very least. So what my recommendation is really to help people as they're learning, maybe if there's a possibility to send out more information ahead of time, whether it be by paper or electronically, because I know I was trying to take notes, and as I'm trying to take notes, I felt I was missing the next thing that was coming. And that was a little challenging. So if I had the PDF that was, or the PowerPoints that were there in front of me that I could take notes on so that I was able to concentrate more and listen more, as opposed to trying to write what was being said, I think that that could be a real benefit. So, but I absolutely adored every piece.
First, I want to say thanks to all the employees of the city who put this program together, because it's absolutely awesome. And I learned a tremendous lot. One of the things I do share with my colleague here about taking notes and trying to keep up, so one of my recommendation is if we can have YouTube videos of the sessions, because some of the information I really wanted to have access to the very next day to share, and I did not have that. So if we can have that as a permanent record, that if you want to go back to it next week, next year, or anyone else want to access new or old information, it's available. So that is my main contribution. But I learned a lot. I'm particularly interested in the sessions about the housing, because that is a passion for me. I believe that everyone deserves to have a home, and that is to enhance quality of life. So that was one of the big things for me. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh, we got another person coming up. Perfect. No? You're coming up. You're not perfect. Oh, I thought you were perfect. Oh, okay.
I don't believe in violence. So can I just share this with everybody real quick? I thought I was gonna have to drop out of the program because the first day it started, I got my positive COVID diagnosis, and I was sick as a dog. So I was like, well, I can't, because so many other people wanted to be in the program and they chose me. So I just turned my camera off, and like the first 3 sessions, I was in the bed. But as it went on, I still was able to listen, and I did learn a lot. One thing that I did notice, that the classes were a little long for Zoom, and I think like if we were in person, the class time would be okay, because there'd be like a little bit more interaction between each other, you know, the people. But it was good, and like Lynette said, you know, a couple more breaks if it is on Zoom. Erica, you're not looking. Yep, the music was good too. But I was surprised at how much I actually learned, because a lot of the people that I have worked with them in the past, or I knew them or knew of them, and I didn't know all of the services that they offer or all the things that they do. So I think it's a really good program. The information was amazing. Also, what I think is kind of sad is that there's so many services that are out there that people don't know about. And so I guess that because we've gone through the class, that now we know it's up to us to take the information to the people that don't know about it. So thank you to you guys for putting this together and getting the people together to present to us, because I think you chose some awesome presenters. The programming and information that they brought us was very valuable, and I just think that there's tools that we'll probably be able to use for the rest of our life.
I too would like to thank everyone for all the efforts and everything that they put into this program. I'm sure it was a lot of work, and we appreciate it. I know I do. I appreciate the fact of being able to be selected to participate in this group. I really have so much knowledge, especially what I heard Mr. Miller spoke, and all the different ways that you can become involved and get into different positions and help with the community. Also, the zoning really helped me a lot, and I've already started sharing the knowledge with other people who've told me, let me know when it starts again. I want to get involved in it. So it's a good thing, and I am sharing what I've learned, and I appreciate what you've done. Thank you.
Well, I guess I couldn't be the only person that's here that didn't come up and speak. And I believe Barb must have heard me in the office going over some of the things I was talking about, because she stole all my thunder. So, but truly I did have a good time. I did learn a lot. I've been working here at City Hall for 5 years now, and but a lot of the things I did, I picked up a lot of knowledge. I was able to start talking about it to some of my family and friends who like, especially a real estate portion of the presentations, and they're excited about it as well. I'm looking forward to receiving some of the information as well, so I can continue to pass all that information on, and so on and so forth, and just be a beacon for my neighborhood, and just hopefully more people want to join in with just making our neighborhood safer and more vibrant.
Okay, so I was just told that Erica gave a message on the chat for anybody to say like a one-word comment, which fits in perfect because we're running tight on our agenda. So if anybody wants to just shout out a word that kind of sums up how they feel about the program, now is the time.
Educational.
Awesome.
From the room, detailed. Very informative. Motivating. Well, that's great. And we're going to be taking the notes on this chat, and we're going to record it. The information that we're going to be sharing with you in a couple of weeks, we're going to be giving as much as we can of the presentations, as much as we can of copies from the chat. Duly noted that a lot of that information would be useful if it was given out ahead of time. So that's a good example of how we grow. Next time we'll do it better. So, but we are going to be getting a flash drive within the next couple of weeks with tons of data and information on it. If you want us to print it for you, just let us know. We can print stuff out if it's easier for people to read like that. I'm going to hand it over to Kevin Kelly here, who's going to have a very special guest. Before I do that, I just wanted to mention that I went through the list of all the presenters like that, and I failed to mention the funders, which is probably not a good idea. So special thanks to the Community Foundation and NeighborWorks for giving their presentation. So here's Kevin Kelly, the newest member of the team.
Thank you, John. Good evening, everybody. This is awesome. I'm really excited to be here. I'm not the very special guest. I'm just introducing the very special guest. But this is really cool, and I look forward to some version of you guys flipping the tassel over your graduation hats at the end of the ceremony. Maybe use your mask to do that. I don't know. Whatever you come up with. If I haven't met you yet, my name is Kevin Kelly. I work in the city planning office with Scott. And Doreen Kirkmeyer is part of our team as well, and she's one of the folks that really kind of helped create this program. So it's been great. When our team worked on the Rochester 2034 Comprehensive Plan, we spent a lot of time out in the community talking to folks in neighborhood associations and different groups and such, and just really had this strong sense that there's a lot of people that just have this really latent potential to get involved, a lot of passion, a lot of excitement, but they're a little bit unsure about how to do it, how to be effective, whether it's as an individual or as a group. And we get it. Like, this is a big organization here, City Hall. It could be intimidating if you don't really understand how it works. I mean, even look at this room. Like, this is an incredible room. The architecture, the detailing, the history, the weight of this just kind of, it's impressive, but it also could feel a little intimidating, right? Like, how do we be an active part of this community and work with City Hall? So I think we wanted to get creative and find ways to sort of demystify this, because the folks that sit in these chairs, and work throughout the building, they're just like you and me. Like, we just really love Rochester. We really love our neighborhoods and want to make it a better place. So if we can find ways to kind of demystify that and break down those barriers and get folks more empowered, more involved, that's what we want to do. And there's been different sort of iterations of this community university kind of thing in the past, and we're just really excited to be continuing to improve on this and get more folks involved. So I just want to say thanks specifically to all the team members that worked on this. So certainly the Neighborhood Service Center folks and all their staff that work on this. Erica, in particular, you are an ROC rock star. Great job. All the folks in the communications office that really helped out, Scott and others in the planning office, And certainly Deputy Mayor James Smith and Mayor Lovely Warren have supported this from the beginning. Not just this program, but the principle behind it. We've got to get more folks involved, show them the ins and outs of how this stuff works so that they can be more effective and more engaged. So both the deputy mayor and the mayor have been really supportive of this, and we're just going to keep making it better each time around. So with that, I'm pleased to bring up Deputy Mayor James Smith to go through the official ceremony part of this tonight. So thanks, everybody.
Well, hello. You kept referring to me as being very special, but I'm not. I got the easy job, right? I just got to come here and say thank you and talk a little bit about this. You guys are the very special ones because you're helping us build a better city, and so we're really grateful for that. And it's my pleasure to be here representing Mayor Warren and the City of Rochester and thanking you and congratulating you on completing the Neighborhood Leadership Training Program. And I think you should give yourselves a hand, really, at this point. You deserve it. I have to make you clap for yourselves because of COVID, right? We don't have a big crowd here, but it's kind of nice that those things are changing and we're going to be a little bit more open. I do want to thank the staff that have been involved, and I give a special shout out to Daisy Algren and all the staff in our neighborhood service centers, as well as Kevin Kelly with the City Planning Bureau for coordinating another successful year of this important program. I know Kevin had a lot of help with Durain as well as Scott and others. Also, shout out to Bill Schwabacher, my former colleague from communications. Thanks, Bill, for being here. Yeah, give Bill a little love. And so I'm also thankful to you, as I said before, for taking the time to be a part of this, right? Because we know that the Mayor's Leadership Program and the Rochester 2034 Comprehensive Plan are about creating access and opportunity, because we want to see everyone succeed. And I know I heard when I came in the room, I heard some people talking about now the hard part begins where we take this and we go out and we invest what we've learned into other folks. And that's really what this is right now. You're the ones who know how to unlock these countless opportunities that are waiting to be discovered in our neighborhoods, in your neighborhoods. And now that you are about to graduate from this program, you're really also ready to help us listen. You know, Kevin said City Hall and the City of Rochester is kind of a large organization. And it's really hard. It's hard for me as the deputy mayor to go to every community meeting, to be at every block party, to be able to talk to every resident, right? Because there's a couple 100,000 of us. I just can't do it. And in fact, even though we have a wonderful workforce and a large group of people working at City Hall, we still can't hear from everybody. We need folks like you to be our ears and to help your neighbors tell us where all those hidden opportunities are, so we can really make the most of this great community that we call home. And I know that we don't have all the answers in City Hall, but you do. And that's kind of the point of all of this. And so this is really exciting as we move forward, because it means that our city will build the kind of future that we want for our children. And that is absolutely so critical. So I want to thank you again for taking part in this program and for joining with myself and all the staff here in the pursuit of equity for all in this new era that we're trying to create in City Hall. Because that's a big part of this too. I mean, when you come in City Hall, you see that we're a sanctuary city, right? You're like, what does that mean? Is that something about refugees and immigrants? And it certainly is. But like for myself, I'm the child of an immigrant. My mom came to America in the 1950s. I know the mayor is a child of an immigrant. And so that is a big part of this, but it's much more than that, being a sanctuary city. It's recognizing as a community that we have respect for everybody. It doesn't matter where they were born, doesn't matter how they worship, it doesn't matter their race or their gender identity. None of that matters. Everyone, we want to make sure that everyone has the same opportunity, no matter what zip code they live in, to succeed. And none of those other factors matter, and we want to be able to do that. And you really, this is a huge building block in helping us accomplish that. So I know I have the honor of reading the names of today's graduates. It says, please come up to receive your certificate when your name is called, but I have a feeling that's not going to be possible for everybody. So I don't know who's here and not. What I'll do is, instead of, I assume, is this all the certificates here? So awesome, thank you. I knew there was a system, but nobody told me about it. So I am going to, I'm gonna read these. The first one is Reena Schnaufer, Barclay Square Drive in Brighton. Neighbor from Brighton, we're very happy that you did this with us. So Daisy, can I hand you these? And I'll just go through the ones. Lynette Griffin of Chatham Gardens in the Northeast is not with us, but I do want to recognize her. She's on the screen. Congratulations. Also, we do have with us Gwen Campbell of Belknap Street in the Northwest. And all the Campbells are here because we've got Barbara Campbell of Pershing Drive in the Southeast. I don't bite, Barb. Our next participant is with us via Zoom, Namiz Bako of Denver Street, Southeast. Congratulations. Congratulations. And Cynthia Ford is here with us, Midvale Terrace, Southwest. And joining us virtually as well is Edna Chimhao of Bonesteel Street in Greece. Our neighbors to the northwest in Greece. Thank you. Also, Carmen Morales of Borinquen Plaza, Northeast, is joining us as well virtually. And she is joined on the screen as well by August Dunlop of Dewey Avenue in the Northwest. And Genesis McBride is on the virtual tour here as well of Parcells Avenue, again in the Southeast. Yeah, Southeast. Let's see what we have here. We've got Thomas Pastecki of Calumet Street in the Southeast as well. Congratulations. Well done, we like that. Kiera Hudson of Midvale Terrace Southwest is also with us on the Zoom. And is also in good company with Jamari Cruz of Randolph Street in the Northeast. And I know Joe's with us. Joe Thomas Jr. of Chevelin Street in the Northeast. You can feel free to crop me out, no worries. And also with us is Jason DeLuz of Evergreen Circle in Fairport. Oh, they marked you as here. I'm sorry, Jason, I was looking for you. Also with us is Janet Collinga of Merriman Street, Southeast. You are here. June Kennedy of Cedarwood Terrace Southeast is with us virtually. We have Lavender Ashley of Gregg Street in the Southwest with us again on Zoom. Ruth Jennerson of Chili Avenue in the Southwest is joining us via Zoom. Another virtual attendee who I know, and congratulations to Mercedes Vasquez Simmons of Fiend Street in the Northeast. Way to go, Mercedes. And in person, Kenyon Binns of Isabel Street in the Northwest. For representing Caroline Street in the Southeast, Joshua Jacobs is with us on Zoom. Oh. All right, this system isn't exactly perfect. That's all right. Let me see now. Wait a minute. Also, we've got Robert Thompson of Goodman Street, Southeast, and Robert's here as well. And with us virtually is Mary Lou McLeod of Ravenwood Avenue in the Southwest. And last but not least, Ruth Ward of Melrose Street in the Southwest. Congratulations, Ruth. I was hoping to see you here, but congratulations, and I'm glad you did this with us. So, you know, this program is one that, you know, Kevin said that the mayor and myself were very supportive of, but that's not just lip service. Mayor Warren really was very excited that we could do this program. And I know she wished she could be here tonight. She couldn't. And so I'm thrilled to represent her, but I know she's going to ask me about this tomorrow, and she's going to want to know, you know, how it went. And I wasn't able to be here for the entire evening, but I came in as you were giving your kind of testimonials. And it was all the kind of stuff that I know exactly what she wanted to hear. And wonderful feedback about the staff here at City Hall. And I want to thank you for that and thank them again, of course. But much more than that, I mean, I really got the sense that you didn't just show up here and kind of go through the motions. It sounded like everyone really participated and got a lot out of this. And so, you know, that means this is a winner. This is one of the things that we're going to try and do more of and expand. And so I appreciate that, and I appreciate that I was able to come and to listen to that feedback. And the last thing I want to say, it goes back to something I said earlier. And from here, you know, go forth and be our eyes and our ears so we can get the very best feedback, so together we can make this great city even better and make it the very best city possible, particularly for our young folks that are coming behind us. Because as the mayor always says, we want to lift while we climb. We want to lift while we climb. So with that, on this beautiful sunny night, I'm going to stop talking so that you will continue to hopefully like me and be able to get out of here. Again, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. That was great. All right, we're wrapping up here. I think this is the part of the program where I read to you Dr. Seuss's "Oh, the Places You'll Go," but I left my copy at home. Just kidding. But no, Deputy Mayor is right. You guys really did a lot of wonderful participation in this. You learned a lot. You asked a lot of great questions. And you shared your perspectives and your stories. And I think that really contributed to everybody else's experience. So congratulations again. And I know this is sort of the program coming to an end, but really, I see this as just the beginning for you folks and others that have participated, because there's more to learn. And there's really a lot of opportunities for you to bring what you learned back to your neighbors, neighborhood associations, friends and family, to bring them into all the different things that you learned through this course. And I think this is let's make this a prime example of how we should all be lifelong learners. This is something really great for you and your community. So with that, I just want to give just a few more minutes to hear from folks about how you're seeing things moving forward and what you will take away from this experience. And some of you got into that a little bit earlier, but let's specifically move past the wonderful things that you saw into what you're thinking about what this means for you in the future and the folks that you interact with. And how are you going to apply what you learned? What are some of the first things that you want to do in your neighborhood? So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to talk about that, and a few folks can take a turn both on Zoom and in person. But before you answer that question, I just want to leave you with this last nugget, and I'm going to reiterate this to something that I said at an earlier meeting. When you're stumped and you can't figure out what to do next in your neighborhood, it feels like there's too much negativity that you don't know how to get past. Nothing's organized. You don't feel like there's enough people coming together. There's too much negative things in the news. You're dealing with issues of feeling unsafe in your community, and you're just not sure what to do next. Start by filling the spaces with positive activity. And I think what we learned from Jody Fiore's message in Beechwood was just like that. You don't have to jump right to doing a neighborhood plan or anything like super intense like that. If you don't know where to start by filling the spaces with positive activity. That goes for both physical spaces in your neighborhood and bringing folks together to do fun things and eat together and create together. That's the physical side of it. But it's also about how we speak about our city and how we speak about our neighborhood. Fill those spaces with positivity. It's not a silver bullet. It doesn't change things overnight. But I really genuinely believe that's where you start, and good things will start to build from there. So with that little nugget, I just want to hear from folks, again, both on Zoom and in person, your thoughts about where you might take this. What are some next steps for you in your neighborhood? Feel free to come up or feel free to chime in on Zoom. Barb, thank you. And by the way, I'm so glad you made it. You got through COVID. You got through this training. It's good to see you again.
Okay, I'm going to try to say this really fast. So I think what I would like to do is actually, so my church, we bought another building, and they're rehabbing it right now. So while they're rehabbing it, all the neighbors are coming over because it had been vacant for something like 12 years. So all the people in the neighborhood have been coming over, they're asking questions, and they're excited for us to open because they want to come. So I hope we can be an information center for the neighborhood, so that if we can't provide a service, if there's someone in need, we can at least direct them to someone that can help them if they come to our church and they have a need. So I want us to be kind of like a hub for people that have a need in the community, because I mean, it is a community that does need help. So I hope that we're able to be a light in the community and we're not a burden to the people that are there. And we want to be inviting and welcoming. So I just hope that I can use the information and the, just the information to give it to other people if they need it. Like I said, if they come to our church and there's a need that we can't help them with, I would definitely hope that we could at least direct them to someone that can assist them with their need. That's what I would like to do first.
Oh, we got something to say, yeah? We have an eyesore in our neighborhood. I don't know if this business is operating. I Googled it, some say it's closed, some say it's still open. I need to call them, but it's basically an industrial site, and it's like, looks like a bomb went off. It's just like abandoned cars, and rusted out 18-wheelers. And I've seen kids in there riding around on their bicycles. And this is ridiculous. Like, one of these kids is going to get hurt. So, like, immediate future, that's what I want to look at. Like, looking at that property, seeing what's going on with it, what its status is, getting it cleaned up, or at a minimum, like, getting a gate put up so that there aren't little kids in there riding their bikes around. That's it.
Ruth, you had something to say? Or is just Erica picking on you? She's got it.
Sorry about it, that with the knowledge of resources that we received to help make our neighborhoods more inclusive with the young people so that they'll feel more a part of us.
Thanks, Ruth. Any other final thoughts from folks?
If I could say one thing. This is Tom Pastecki, ABC Streets neighborhood. I would say utilize our neighborhood service centers. They are loaded with information. The staff is wonderful. And I think if you need to know anything about what's going on in the city, that should be your first step.
Yes, well said, Tom. Yeah, I think a lot of this is just about building relationships, right? And you folks have had a great chance to get to know Erica and Daisy and John and others, and that building, that neighborhood service center that's sitting in your quadrant maybe doesn't feel as intimidating anymore, or the programs that are in there. So you can make some headway there. So last chance, and then I will turn it over to Daisy to wrap it up. You done? Great. Congratulations again. Give yourselves one more round of applause.
Thank you. Awesome. One more applause for everybody. This is really great. I'm going to wrap it up with the following, just a few comments. I want to really share with you how important this has been to me personally. I took this position in 2017, and there's always folks that have, that negative thought and say, oh my gosh, you're going to go to a place that's always getting complaints. Well, yeah, we do get our share of complaints. That's what we're there for. However, I knew there was so much potential in the neighborhood service centers. The staff is an amazing staff. What they want to do in neighborhoods and how engaged they are is really, to me, the perfect team. So with that, and a little bit of nuggets that I got from John McMahon, who said, hey, we used to have a leadership program. We had a pilot in 2016. We should bring it back. And it was something that really folks wanted back. So we said, let's put a little budget together. We had some funding from the Area Foundation. We also had NeighborWorks, and we were able to put it back together again. And we did our first cohort last fall. We have a waiting list of 14 people. We brought some of you were on the waiting list, we brought you back, and now we have a waiting list for the fall. This is how this program has been received. So this could not have been done with just Daisy alone. This has been a full team effort. I want to thank the staff from the Neighborhood Service Center. I want to thank Jennifer. There's always people behind the scenes that do all those wonderful things. These are the behind the scenes people. I want to acknowledge John for keeping the bug in my ear. We have to do this. We did it. And we were able also to partner with our colleagues from the planning office. They have the blueprint where this city's going to be in 14 years. And that's where we are basically all looking forward to get to. I want to come back. I might have great grandkids, I don't know. But I'll come back in 2034, and I want to celebrate when we rip up that paper and say, accomplished, mission done. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to give a special shout out to Erica. She has, Erica's new to our staff. She's our baby. And she just jumped right in, took over, and did the behind the scenes things, did all those wonderful treasure hunts and all that fun stuff, and just kind of came right in, and she has been so warmly welcome. So thank you, Erica. I want to, yes, definitely. I want to thank Scott. Scott is our techie person behind the scenes. He's always back there making sure that we have the Zoom link, we have everything correct. He puts you into break rooms, whether you like it or not. No, he does. He puts you into break rooms. He makes sure that everything's flowing nicely, and he's just been a wonderful asset to our team. I want to thank Kevin Kelly. Kevin, he's new, but I used to work with Kevin downstairs in another bureau, and he's been able to just bring a wealth of information from the planning office. So thank you, Kevin, for stepping right in. I want to thank Bill Schwabacher. He's back there. Bill is our person who's making this happen via live. I said to Bill, so how do we go on Zoom and how do we go on YouTube? He goes, we're going to do both. I go, okay. It's a technology thing I don't know nothing about, but these folks have just been wonderful. And I know that on this screen, we have some staff from the NSC. Carlos Torres from the Northeast is there. Thank you, Carlos. We have Bruce Wilder from the Northwest. He's our assistant administrator. And I don't see if you have any other staff. Which one? Marlon. Oh, yes, Marlon is on there from the Northeast, our assistant administrator. And I just, to me, I'm one of the luckiest people in the world. I get to work with such wonderful people. I get to come to City Hall, this beautiful building, and I get to share our resources with all of you who so generously want to give up your time. Without any of you, we could not accomplish this mission. We need you to make our neighborhoods a more vibrant place for our folks to live. So we thank you so very much. And with that, we know that you're looking forward to this summer. We're slowly getting back to some normalcy. I can't wait till I get invited to Black Club parties, to garden programs. If you need more assistance, if you need information, please call us. Please, please call us. I know some of you already have begun, and we're super excited to get involved, so let us know. And then we'll announce again sometime in late summer our fall cohort. So thank you very much. Congratulations again.